Guys, looking at ADA on a 1 minute chart. 1 minute Bittrex, 1 minute chart, that's right. And this is not something I advocate. This is more about just demonstrating a take. I've done this a couple of times every now and then when the opportunity presents itself. More about representing an opinion where my view is that price behavior is not random. So if you are on a 1% chart, a 1 minute chart, most people are of the view that price behavior is random. We were watching it as it was having these spinning top moments here, so I can actually show you those chart images as they were prior to the break. Here's one from one of our students on our WhatsApp group, and on my trade leaders where it's a no reply, and I was posting the chart over here. We'll make it a bit bigger. There you can see it, and that was our draw. So we are tracking this, and it is on a 1 minute chart, and it has been in what we would consider a keep on keeping on state. In other words, continuation is the game. It's been impulsive, and it's been setting up. Even this here is a high 1, low 1, high 2, low 2, and there's funneling for a low 3 and a high 3, and we'd anticipate continuation again. Little bump on the volume there on it. So where's the target for this? If this is to be successful, we would say 3058, 54, 58. The line's a bit fat. I'm going to check back in with you as things roll. And let's see how we do. Trading HVF method right down to a 1 minute chart when the random walk theorists, the random walk down Wall Street author and all the others say price behavior is entirely random. You shall decide for yourself. Let's see how we do.
Of course, I was going to
Hello there, we are back. And we're just checking in again with you, and it seems that this micro HVF, that would be probably on a 10-second time frame, if such a thing were available, we're down to the lowest time frame, has indeed popped to the upside, and we are awaiting an interim. I'll check in with you again shortly. So we're back with you, and we've had a bit of spinning tops over here after our pop-up. Nice impulsive behavior. I've had to switch to Coinergy due to platform hang. But otherwise, as you can probably assess, not doing too shabby in terms of progress. So not too random for now, looking pretty good. So one of the laws of HVF method is that at our interim targets, which is here, you often congest for a while and have what we call progress decay. In other words, you're not going further up for a while, you're not going further down necessarily. You can pull back actually, even right the way to the funnel, but you often churn at these levels. In other words, time is expended and no further progress to the upside. So since the break, we made good progress all the way up to there. Having run the interim at that point, churn, churn, churn. So far, so good with compliance. I'll be back. Hey guys, so a bit of an update. So we've lost a bit of ground with the second interim, flat bottom, and then a nice big sell-off. At that point, it came to our awareness roughly when we were here, spinning tops, a 2,800 substantial seller. So just to show you this on the Bittrex, there is a big seller at the 2,800 mark. So there we are, 517 Bitcoin, running the total sum from 16, there was an 8 Bitcoin just in front of him, all the way to 533. So that totally dominates the round number 2,800. So the subsequent price action after that seller came in at the 2,800, logical round number, big seller, was for the market price to spill away. The interesting thing that then happened is then 126 odd Bitcoin buyer showed up at 2,715. Could this be a market spoofing with someone selling and buying on the other end? We don't know if it's the same party or the same player, but trading inside of the range, or could these be two separate parties for different amounts? The 2,715 certainly gobbled a bit of volume here, made a base, and then it started to move back up. Where did this resist? This is how support and resistance and key levels of significance are formed. and started to shy away again when it hit 2793 with the big buyer, the big seller at with 500 Bitcoin still being there. So now we have a period of entrapment between a big buyer at 2715 and a big seller at 28 during this pause at the second interim. The eventual outcome still being in and around the 3054 level. But time is elapsing, and we also have time stops on HVF method. So I'll be updating you further as the push me pull you between the dead man zone here of the big buyer and the big seller continues. Who will fold, or are they one and the same?
I saw.
So the analog to the story is that it time stopped out over here, rising wedge to that big seller at 2,800. And then absolute grind line capitulation. Why do we think that happened? Well, there's a good reason. We'd made two huge targets on the macro, the super macro time frame at the 2,500 level, and also at the 15-minute time frame on charts that I have illustrated here in Crypto Sniper, the premium area. Here was the super macro being taken out in a larger time frame. That was as it was running through it. It did start to sell off. That was the point as it was taken. Here was a shorter time frame, literally right down to a 3-minute booster that occurred. That target was taken. And then of course, this larger time frame target that was at the 15-minute met and ran its target with a booster. So we had a number of targets all taken out, but the big one, which should have a high period of progress decay, was taken out here. And as a result, it's my view, this would be the reason why we're quite likely to fail here. Note how we got defense at the stop of the funnel and a wee rally back across the funnel. But I expect in the end of day games, that will indeed fail in the end. So interesting case study. Rising wedge to what was a big sell-off area of 2,800, and I think that big dominant $10 million plus worthwhile sale scared the market off and has seen the market back off down to the funnel level.